You're listening to Mountain Heartbeat with Joe and Rosa Hopkins, proclaiming the gospel through word and through song.
Hi, and welcome to Mountain Heartbeat. I'm Joe Hopkins.
And I'm Rosa Hopkins.
This week we have a special episode. We're going to tell everybody about the Heartbeat bill, which is being filed federally. What's that, HR?
HR 490.
Okay. We would like everybody to, if at all possible, call your representatives. We're going to give you their names and numbers and let them know that you want to support the Heartbeat bill, because if a heartbeat is detected, the child will be protected.
Absolutely. The time to act is now. If you've ever wanted to do something that makes a difference and you thought that you weren't able to, well, right now you can. If you can pick up your phone, dial 10 numbers and just say this: my name is, state your name, and then just say, and I'm asking you to sponsor the Heartbeat bill, HR 490. That's all you have to do. We're going to give you the names and the numbers. For West Virginia, the representative's name is Evan Jenkins. So for West Virginia, if you're listening and you're living in West Virginia, you want to speak to Evan Jenkins. His phone number, it's 202-225-3452. Again, 202-225-3452. And the reason that this is so important, we'll be giving out numbers for Kentucky and Ohio if you're in that listening audience in just a moment. But the reason why the Heartbeat bill is so important is this: the heartbeat is an indicator of life. When the heartbeat goes away, we know a person has died. And so the heartbeat can be detectable in a child that's in utero as early as 21 days, but usually within 28 days of gestation. And so basically, it's also in the language of the Heartbeat bill for Ohio on page 14, where it says that in 95% of cases, if a heartbeat has been detected, the child will be delivered full term. In cases where there's not a heartbeat detected, obviously, then that would not be the case. But in the first trimester, if there's been a heartbeat detected, as per the language in the Heartbeat bill, page 14 for Ohio, and you can look that up on www.heartbeatbill.com, that there's a 95% chance that that child will come to term. So basically what this bill does is it protects any child that has a heartbeat from being aborted. So they cannot go in, they cannot do the procedure, they cannot do that once a fetal heartbeat has been found. Now, this bill has been passed in 2 states in our union, and it was recently passed in the state of Ohio before it was vetoed by Governor Kasich. Janet Folger Porter is the author of the Heartbeat bill, and it has been filed federally. So what that means is that this very strong pro-life legislation, the Heartbeat bill, is now being filed federally, meaning that we need to get states representatives on board to sponsor the bill. And at this point in time, there have been many states that have gotten on board. West Virginia is not currently on board, and neither is Ohio and Kentucky. And so we have listeners from all of those regions, and we're going to be giving out those numbers. So here's what it is. Basically, when your representative co-sponsors the bill, that means that they're on board with it, meaning that this has a even greater chance of passing. And from what they're saying, this could be absolutely historic, monumental, that a national heartbeat bill can be enacted into law. And so that is on the table right now. So the time to call, friends, is right now. If you've ever wanted to be involved, if you've ever wanted to do something for the pro-life cause but didn't know what it was, it's this, and it's right now. Don't assume that other people are going to call. You yourself pick up the phone and call. I called. Joe, sitting right next to me, called. Several of our friends that live in Virginia, they've called. Friends that have been, asked to call in our church where we go. It doesn't take as many people, but we all have to do it.
That's right. We all need to call. And not only that, if your congressional representative, if your congressman or woman is not on this list, that doesn't mean that you can't call them. These are just the ones that haven't signed on yet, that are the most likely to if we give them a call and let them know that we want it. However, if they're not on this list, you can still find out who your congressional representative is. You can call your congressman or woman and tell them that you want them to support the heartbeat bill. Now, like Rosa said, I know this show goes out to people in Kentucky and Ohio as well. So we're going to give you the numbers and names and numbers of the congressmen and women in Kentucky and Ohio that we would most likely you to call and let them know you want them to support this.
Absolutely. So we're going to start with Kentucky. Representative's name is Harold Rogers. Again, it's Harold Rogers. So you would call if you live in Kentucky and you would say, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm asking Harold Rogers to co-sponsor the heartbeat bill, H.R. 490. Believe me when I say they will know what you're talking about, okay? So you don't have to have any lingo, any complicated jargon. Just ask them to co-sponsor heartbeat bill, H.R. 490, so that they know exactly what it is, and there's nothing more to it, so you do not need to be intimidated. So for Kentucky, it is Harold Rogers, 202-225-4601. Again, Harold Rogers, 202-225-4601. If you live in Kentucky, give him a call. If you don't, we'll have to give out the numbers for the other states. For Ohio, we have 5 people here listed. We have David Joyce, his number, 202-225-5731. Again, that's Ohio, David Joyce, 202-225-5731. Ohio, we have Bob Latta. Again, his name is Bob Latta. The number is 202-225-6405. Again, 202-225-6405. Steve Stivers of Ohio. His number is 202-225-2015. Again, that's Steve Stivers, 202-225-2015. In Ohio, we have Pat Tibari. His number is 202-225-5355. Again, that's Pat Tibari. That is 202-225-5355. Lastly, in Ohio, we have Michael Turner. His number, 202-225-6465. Again, that's 202-225-6465. And then again, the number in West Virginia is for Evan Jenkins. We need all of you to call him, please, as soon as you can. Don't put it off. Evan Jenkins, 202-225-3452. Again, that's Evan Jenkins, number 202-225-3452.
Well, now that we've given out those numbers, we're going to ask that you call them first thing Monday morning. First thing Monday morning, their office should be open. You should be able to get a hold of them. In the meantime, we're going to play a song for you called Children Are Precious, because they certainly are, and that's why we're here.
Every day, we see it on the news. We know about the things people do. And it is such a shame what happens every day. America, get on your knees and pray. Children, they are precious. Born to laugh and give straight to us. Protect them. precious, born to life and give straight to us. Protect them and guide them and give them all they need. A home with love and a sense of worth. And children, they're so precious. A child is so much more than just a choice. God is blessing you with this wonderful gift. Children deserve to live.
Well, that was a lot of fun, and we're going to give you those names and numbers for your congressmen and women in Kentucky, Ohio, and Evan Jenkins in West Virginia one more time before the end of the show. Go ahead, Rosa.
So absolutely, we're going to give out those numbers, and I would like to add that if you have friends, family, church members, give out these names and numbers so that everybody calls so that they know which side their constituency wants them to vote on. And let's get this heartbeat bill passed and save all of the babies. For Kentucky, we have Harold Rogers, 202-225-4601. Again, that's Harold Rogers, Kentucky, 202-225-4601. We have 5 representatives from the state of Ohio. David Joyce, 202-225-5731. Again, 202-225-5731. Bob Latta, 202-225-6405. Again, that's 202-225-6405. Steve Stivers of Ohio, 202-225-2015. Again, that's 202-225-2015. Ohio, Pat Tibari, that's 202-225-5355. Again, that's Pat Tiberi, 202-225-5355. Ohio's Michael Turner, 202-225-6465. Again, that's Michael Turner of Ohio, 202-225-6465. And in the state of West Virginia, Evan Jenkins, 202-225-3452. Again, that's Evan Jenkins, 202-225-3452. We need everyone to call. Thank you.
Now, if you want to hear these numbers again, we're going to be putting this this audio track of this show on our SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Rosa Hopkins. And we're going to be putting it on YouTube at youtube.com/Joe and Rosa Hopkins. And Rosa, what's the website that they can look up for more information about the Heartbeat Bill?
You can go to www.heartbeatbill.com. You'll find all of the information there.
Well, that's just awesome. Okay, so we're going to be putting this on SoundCloud and YouTube. If you look for Joe and Rosa Hopkins on either of those, you'll find us. You can also check out Rosa's blog on gutsychristianity.com, and I'm sure Rosa's going to have something about that on there as well. And we would certainly like it if you would call your congressman or woman, even if it's not one of the ones that's mentioned. Even if they have no intention of getting on board with this, perhaps if enough of us ask them, they will, and we can end abortion now. Thank you very much for Mountain Heartbeat. I'm Joe Hopkins.